Hello everyone, good morning. Hope you are having an amazing day. I am Sir Bernard, your live streaming teacher from Maysan National High School, and welcome to our lesson for today. Let's talk about arts. But before we start, let me remind you of the following protocols that you need to observe during your live streaming class.
Rules during live streaming class. Number 1. Be ready. Have your module, notebook, pen or pencil with you. Number 2. Be attentive. Pay attention to your teacher while he or she is explaining about the lesson. Number 3. Be respectful. Use appropriate words to deliver your thought or questions related to the discussion. Respect other people's privacy, gender identity, opinion, and rights. Number 4. Be aware of your surroundings. Find some quiet place to listen and study. Keep other devices off during your live streaming class. And number 5. Enjoy learning. The most important thing at the end of the day is learning. Don't hesitate to ask. Learning is a continuous process.
Now, I will give you first the learning competencies that you are about to learn in this lesson. At the end of this lesson, you as a learner are expected to analyze elements and principles of art in the production of arts and crafts inspired by the cultures of East Asia. Identifies characteristics of arts and crafts in specific countries in East Asia, China, Japan, and Korea. So before we proceed to our discussion, let us have a review of our previous lesson in arts by answering this activity entitled Recap Time. I will be showing you pictures of the arts of Southeast Asia and tell me what country the arts are from. I will be giving you 5 seconds to recognize it. Type your answer in the comment section below. Let's begin. Number 1. Your time starts now. Time is up. If your answer is Brunei, you are correct. Number 2, your time starts now. Time is up. If your answer is Vietnam, good job. Number 3, your time starts now. Time is up. If your answer is Laos, you are amazing. Number 4, your time starts now. Time is up. If your answer is Thailand, you are correct. Number 5, your time starts now. Time is up. If your answer is Brunei, you are correct. Good job! Hopefully, you were able to recall our previous lesson or discussion about Southeast Asian arts. This time, let's see if you are familiar with the arts and crafts of China, Japan, and Korea by playing an activity called Identify Me. Again, before we proceed like what Sir Ferdinand Cadison moves, let me change my outfit too in 1, 2, and 3. Tada! Thank you, Sir Cadison. Let's begin. In this activity, for 30 seconds, you're going to identify the picture according to the country it belongs by writing letter C if the picture belongs to China, J if it belongs to Japan, and K if it belongs to Korea. Your time starts now. A job well done, students. Now, to test your analysis skills, let's have another activity. This activity is entitled Guess Me. I will be showing you pictures of personalities, anime characters, and K-pop artists, and you are going to guess their names. You may type your answer in the comment section below. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 1. Your timer starts now. Time is up. If your answer is Bangtan Boys or commonly known as BTS, you are correct. Number 2. Your timer starts now. Time is up. If your answer is Naruto, good job! Number 3. Your time starts now. If your answer is Twice, you are amazing. Number 4. Your time starts now. Time is up. If your answer is Eren Yeager of Attack on Titan, that's great. Number 5. Your time starts now. Time is up. If your answer is Blackpink, you are correct. You are really smart. I know you will surely enjoy your tour of China, Japan, and Korea as we move on to our topic for today. But before that, let's have a short review of the elements and principle of arts and design. Elements of art. Line, a continuous mark made on a surface by a moving point. Shape, an enclosed area defined and determined by other art elements. It is also called two-dimensional shape because it only has height and width. Form is a three-dimensional object with volume of height, width, and depth. Color, an element consisting of hues, of which there are three properties: hue, chroma or intensity, and value. Value refers to the gradual change of lightness or darkness of a color. Space refers to the distances or areas around, between, and within components of a piece. And last but not the least is texture. Texture is the perceived surface quality of art. Principle of arts and design. Balance. This design principle relates all the parts to one another. Balance can be either symmetrical or asymmetrical. Contrast. It is used of differing elements, large and small, light and dark, and rough and smooth to add variety. Emphasis. This refers to the center of visual interest to which the eye is naturally drawn. Rhythm refers to the repetition of a particular shape or the combination of related color values. Pattern may be defined as regular arrangement of repeated same elements. Proportion. This involves the relationship between the sizes of elements in the design. And last but not the least, unity refers to how different elements of an artwork or design work come together and create a sense of wholeness. And those were the different elements and principles of arts and design. What you usually appreciate in a certain art form at a very simple way of looking at it is basically the way the different elements and principles of arts and designs are working together harmoniously to produce an overall effect. I can feel that you are ready to analyze different elements and principles of arts and design in arts and crafts inspired by the cultures of East Asia. Now, get ready to visit and learn about the characteristics of the arts and crafts of China, Japan, and Korea. In East Asia, the objects or items that are usually put into paintings are called subjects, themes, or motifs. This may be about animals, people, landscape, and anything about the environment. To start with, let's talk about the paintings of China. Painting in China. Painting subject or themes in China are the following: flowers and birds, landscapes, palaces and temples, human figures, animals, bamboos and stones. These are the examples of paintings of China. Did you know that the important aspect in East Asian painting is what we call landscape painting? Landscape painting was regarded as the highest form of Chinese painting. They also consider the three concepts of their arts: nature, heaven, and humankind, or what we call yin-yang. Chinese society, basically agricultural, has always laid great stress on understanding about the pattern of nature and living in accordance with it. Oriental artists often created landscapes rather than paintings with the human figures as subjects. Next is what we call calligraphy. To the Chinese, calligraphy is the art of beautiful handwriting. Traditional painting involves essentially the same techniques as calligraphy, and it's done with a brush dipped in black or colored ink. Oils are not used in calligraphy. The popular materials which paintings are made of are paper and silk. Poets write their calligraphy on their paintings. Now, let us explore the arts and crafts of Japan. Painting in Japan. Painting subject or themes in Japan are the following: scene from everyday life, narrative scenes crowded with figures and details. These are the painting subjects or themes in Japan. Next is origami. The term origami came from ori, meaning folding, and kami, meaning paper. It is the traditional Japanese art of paper folding, which started in the 17th century AD and was popularized internationally in the mid-1900s. It eventually evolved into a modern art form. The goal of this art is to transform a flat sheet of paper into a finished sculpture through folding and sculpting techniques without cutting as much as possible. Woodblock printing. Woodblock printing is a technique for printing text images or patterns used widely through East Asia. It is originated in China as a method of printing on textile but eventually became a method for printing on paper. This method was adopted in Japan during the Edo period and became one of their oldest and most highly developed visual arts. Example of woodblock printing is Japanese ukiyo-e. The best known and most popular style of Japanese art is ukiyo-e, which is Japanese for pictures of the floating world, and it is related to the style of woodblock printmaking that shows scenes of harmony and carefree everyday living. Theater mask. Kabuki makeup or kisho is already in itself an interpretation of the actor's own role through the medium of the facial features. On stage, this interpretation becomes a temporalization of makeup in collaboration with the audience. The result is a decoding of the drama traced out in the graphic designs of the painted face. Kabuki makeup is also another way of face painting which has two types: standard makeup and kumadori makeup. It is composed of very dramatic lines and shape using colors that represent certain qualities. Dark red for passion or anger, dark blue depression or sadness, pink for youth, light green for calm, black for fear, and purple for nobility. Paste painting, Mukimi-guma or CG-guma, is an example of paste painting in Korea, where the lines are painted onto an actor's face. These are often smudged to soften them. Next is anime and manga. Manga are comics or graphic novels originating from Japan. Most manga confirm the style developed in Japan in the late 19th century. The term manga is used in Japan to refer to both comics and cartooning. Anime is hand-drawn and computer animation originating from Japan. Anime, a term derived from the English word animation, is used in Japanese to describe all animation regardless of style or origin. And lastly, let us identify the characteristic of the arts and crafts of Korea. Subjects or themes in Korea are divided into 5 categories. These are the following: landscape paintings, minhwa, 4 gracious plants, bamboo, and portraits. These are the examples of Korean traditional paintings. Next is theater mass. Korean mass, called tal or tal, originated with religious meaning just like the mass of other countries, which also have religious or artistic origins. Korea has a rich history of mass. They use it in funeral services to help banish evil spirits, and theater plays dating back to the prehistoric age. Mass were also used for shamanistic rites and were kept within temples where they were honored with offerings. By the 12th century, the mass became part of elaborate dramas and dances. The roles of colors in Korean mass: black, red, and white, bright and vibrant colors that help establish the age and race of the figure. Half red and half white mask symbolize the idea that the wearer has 2 fathers, Mr. Red and Mr. White. Dark face mask indicates that the character was born of an adulterous mother. Next is Korean drums. Korean drums play an important part in traditional Korean music, ranging from folk music to royal court music. There are a wide variety of shapes and sizes, for use both in accompanying other instruments and in special drumming performances. Last but the most in demand nowadays is what we call K-pop. K-pop is a genre of popular music influenced or originate in South Korea. It is influenced by styles and genres from around the world, such as experimental, rock, jazz, gospel, hip-hop, R&B, reggae, electronic dance, folk, country, and classical on top of its traditional Korean music roots. There you have it, the arts and crafts of East Asia. Now, let's try if you have understood what we have discussed. For your performance task, create a Korean mask using watercolor or poster paint, folder, or cardboard, paintbrush, scissors, and pencils, decorative art materials like beads, sequins, and glitters. Submit this to your Mapeh teacher. Now, for you to know how to do it, you have to watch this. Now, let's assess our output by answering the What's More activity on your module. Again, submit this to your Mapeh teacher. And now, let's have an assessment. Get your paper and pen and answer the following items. Rearrange the letters to form the name of the picture. The picture will be your clue to form the scrambled letter. You will be given 5 seconds to answer on each number. You can also participate by writing directly your answer in the comment box below. Let's start! Number 1. Your time starts now. Time is up. If your answer is calligraphy, you are correct. Number 2. Your time starts now. If your answer is origami, you got it right. Number 3. Your time starts now. If your answer is ukiyo-e, you are absolutely right. Number 4. Your time starts now. If your answer is Korean drum, you are amazing. Number 5. Your time starts now. Time is up. If your answer is K-pop, that is excellent. Learning the background, concept, and characteristic of the art of China, Japan, and Korea will be helpful in enhancing your skills and deepening your understanding of the arts and crafts of East Asia. That's all for today. This is your Sir Bernard, your art teacher. Stay safe, everyone. See you on next live streaming. Thank you and God bless.